Hello, fellow robots out there in internet land. I am Sobertron, and welcome back to the next episode of Titancraft Season 6 here on Tangotech's Patreon server. And as always, guys, if you want to join me and this fantabulastic community, all you need to do is click on that link down in the description for Tangotech's Patreon page, and it'll have all the information you need to sign up and join us here. It is a fantastic community, guys. You should absolutely think about joining, and if you do, I'll welcome you. It'll be great. But yeah, I digress, as I always do. We're back in our smelter room. I've been kind of busy, kind of lazy. It's been a little bit since I recorded this episode, but I've been busy smelting things because I wanted to take, full use of this thing. So we've got lots of things. We got lots of smooth stone, tons of this stuff. I've got some cracked nether brick, some cracked blackstone, some cracked bricks, and then some smooth sandstone. I'm thinking I want to start selling this stuff, so I'm going to open up a shop in the near future, guys. We're not doing that today. We're going to do some base work, but I just want to let you guys know that this smelter will be used both for me and for the rest of the community so I can make the diamonds, because diamonds are fantastic. But we're not going to be in here. Like I said, I just love this room. The more I look at it, the more it grows on me. It's great. It's fantastic. We got our little pet Cole over here. He's chomping away, doing some stuff. If you didn't see my episode where I recorded this, I didn't really focus too much on Cole, but he bothered the heck out of us as we were designing this room. Yeah, he was a bit annoying. We have made a couple changes. We added a bit of color to the ceiling and to the floor. I told Cash I wanted some blackstone trim around the lava, and I was downstairs working on the smelter. I think I was fueling up all the furnaces, actually, and I said, just blackstone stairs around the edge. It'll look good, trust me. And I came back up, and she did it exactly as I wanted it. I wanted them facing kind of away, if that makes sense, then facing in towards it, and I told her, get out of my head, because we kind of got this psychic connection going on sometimes, where we just read each other's minds, and we yell at each other all the time for it, but it ends up making amazing things. So, psychic connection is great sometimes. But yeah, tunnel isn't done yet. That's Cash's job. She's been busy this week, so she hasn't been able to get to it, but we won't fault her for that. Right now, I want to work on some stuff upstairs around our base. So let me go grab some materials, and I will be with you guys in a moment. So what we're working on today is what I have been calling the outer ring, and that's this kind of hallway that I created, don't even know how many episodes ago, that's kind of encased in this blackstone here. So what I envisioned initially was like this arched hallway that connects up both sides, and in the bits here, off the inner portion especially, is some shops and houses and things, and we'll potentially do the same thing on the outer bits. I'm not sure how much I'm going to put on the outer bit, just because I want the mountain to be close but far at the same time, and Cash really wants to work on the mountain, so I'm not sure how much space I'm going to have out here. I know it's probably going to go a ways out, so we'll probably have some space to play with some things, but that's much, much farther in the future. What I'm doing is I want to do an initial level on this blackstone bit here. And I'm super happy I had these signs still up, because I probably would have forgotten these and I would have had to recount, and it would have been insane and annoying. Annoying is the word. Um, so 135 represents this block underneath this block. From its corresponding point on the opposite side is 135 blocks. And then that one over there is 167 from its corresponding point on the opposite side. So what I'm using is the same website I used initially to do this stone spire in the middle. And it generates circles really, really well in Minecraft. Sometimes generating a circle around a block, a square block, it's not fun. So this website I use, and I've used it for years now, and it's rarely failed me. It's usually the fails are my own fault. Is called plots.co.uk, and I'm going to have another link down in the description. It's a great, just kind of shape generator, specifically spherical shapes and circular shapes. But what I want to do first is get this first layer down on this blackstone. So what I found with this website is sometimes when you create a circle, like I did with this ring and this ring, they were two separate circles that were generated. They don't necessarily match up with this torus, is what it's called, design. So I know I need to go 9 blocks out from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 9 including the center bit. And then we got a 6. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4 is next. And then we have two threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 twos there. So that matches up nicely. But then we have this excess 2. And this is what I've been talking about. When you generate a circle, it's not always the same as when you generate a torus. So on this bit here, we've got another 1 and then a 2. So just barely off right there. And then we go into another 1 and a 2. Misplacing blocks. So another 1 and a 2. And then we have 4 1s. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 goes there. And then we have a 2. And then we have 2 1s. So 1, 2. And this right here should be the center bit. And my frames are struggling right now with everything happening inside of our base. Let me turn around. Ah, look at that. Less entities to load. It's fantastic. So yeah, that matched up perfectly. So I'm going to continue this all the way around the ring, and I'm going to do the same for the opposite side, the outer portion of the outer ring. I know it's confusing, guys. I'm sorry. That's just how I talk. I'm going to make sure everything lines up, and then we're going to keep on building. Now, the one thing that I need to take into consideration with building this torus is that when you generate it on this website, it makes the width the same as the height. And I don't want that. I want this to be a little bit taller than what it is. So we've got a 15 block gap in the middle, and I need it to be a bit higher than 15. Well, this would essentially be the center here, and I'm not going down, I'm only going up. So I need to extend this up a bit than what the generator itself does. So I'm probably going to make this base level actually a few blocks high, maybe as high as what that wall is right there. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like 6 high, and then I'll start to arc it in. And even then, I might have to double up some layers and see what looks good. Not 100% sure yet, but I'm getting way ahead of myself like I always do. So let me get this first layer down and make sure everything connects up perfectly, and then I'll come back and we'll go over the rest of this bit. So it's actually been a little bit since my last recording. Not in days, but about an hour and a half. It only took me about half an hour to get all of this first groundwork in. But I got hit with a serious case of the hiccups, and I got this all done, and I was like, I just want to record, I want to do things, and my body said no. And I couldn't even talk. It was that bad. It was a very serious case of the hiccups. But it gave me a chance to math some stuff out. So I've decided I want this domed hallway to line up with kind of that 5 wide bit of stone up there. And it allowed me to math other things. So I know I want this kind of first level to extend up a few more blocks for a total of 7. So we're at 1 here, so that's 2 more, that's 4 more, that's 6 more, and that gives us our 7. So it's going to be that high before we start doming things in. And it's going to be the same on this opposite bit. So it's going to be super simple to follow this pattern. It's literally just block, 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 block. And it's not going to take me long at all. I've got tons of stone over there and frames because I'm looking at my base are struggling right now. So let's turn a bit. There we go. Much better. So this actually is probably going to take me a hot minute. This is a lot of block placement here. By my math, it's going to be somewhere on the magnitude of 15,000 stone blocks. That's not an exact number. It's a guesstimate. But I'm pretty sure it's going to take around that to get all of this hallway done. But I don't think I'm going to do all of it. I want to come back in a little bit because my goal right now is to see how many blocks I can place, how much of this I can get done before Cash logs in. I anticipate it's about an hour and a half from now before she's off of work and home and settled for the evening. So I want to see how much of this I can get done, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the journey. Hopefully I can get, all 6 of these new layers done, because, yeah, 2 plus 4, 6. So hopefully I can get all of it done before she shows up, because I kind of want it to be kind of a surprise, her to be like, what the heck's going on, because from time to time that's funny for me. I have the overarching base design idea, and she tags along and helps me out and improves things where I tend to be bad at things, and yeah, so Cash is kind of like that, muse. Let's call it that. She makes me better. But she also develops ideas I've never come up with before. Like at this point, the little uh, hot springs down there. It's it was my idea. I did the initial work, but ultimately the final design of all of that down there was like her inspiration. So yeah, we feed off each other very well. So I want to get as much of this done before she shows up as possible. That way she can generate some ideas without actually knowing what's going on, because that we tend to find out helps out a lot. So let me get all of this in place, and I will be back with you guys as soon as she logs in. So the next phase of our operation is complete. Getting these walls up took no time whatsoever. It literally just stacked 6 more blocks on top of the first block. Life was easy and great. Cash is online finally. A little later than usual. But she is down working on that tunnel to our new smelter. And I gotta say, guys, it's looking pretty good. It's not ready for prime time yet, but I'm gonna hopefully show it to you guys in a little bit. Wow, frames looking at my base. I think it's because TPS is so good right now uh, that my cactus farm is just operating on overload right now, and it's causing, lots of entities to start piling up in my base. So let's just stop looking at it. The next phase of our operation is getting this thing with a roof. So if memory serves, this thing is going to be a total of 16 blocks tall, including the upper portion. This wall is 7. I think the next layer I'm going to double up, and so that'll be 2. But then every other layer after that will be just a single layer, and it'll, end up arching over. The middle bit's going to be a bit wider. It's not going to be 1 block wide, just because, it'd be hard to do in a circle this big. So I'm going to just get cracking. I'm going to do it all in one long, just go. Trying to get any kind of updates on this wouldn't be very entertaining. And also doing a time lapse here also would be a little difficult for me, I think, and I don't want to make you guys sick because you'd be spinning in a circle. So let me land here, and we fail. Let me land here, and we will get going, and I'll be back, and hopefully. This whole room will be done. It'll be super great. I'll show you how amazing, hopefully it is, because I just want to be able to fly through this thing. That's my one goal for this place for right now. Now, I hope it's not too dark in here, but I am super excited about finishing up this outer ring. It honestly has gotten both me and Cash excited. We are super excited about all this. There's a lot of plans for this room, and it's going to take way too long to cover in this episode. But one of the things we discussed was using some of these alcoves. I think this might be the eastern side. So on the eastern side and the western side, we've got these alcoves here. They exist on the north or south and north as well, but we've got plans for those already. And what we're thinking is doing some cool kind of statue work in these, just pushing this back a little bit, making some statues in the future. I think it would look really cool, and it would also help us orient ourselves a bit better. There's a bit of work I still need to do. I need to connect up where our trading hall is to everything, but that shouldn't take too long. But that's honestly not my biggest concern right now. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I wanted to show this to you guys from the outside because it kind of looks like a certain ship from a certain movie with a certain menace who might have been a phantom. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. It looks like one of those ships from that movie. But honestly, don't care. You're not going to see this shot from the outside once the whole base is done. And so it's really just an effect that's not consequential at all. But let me just talk about what I'm going to do now. What I want to do is connect everything up. There's going to be these hallways right here connecting up, the lava bowl room with the dome nut with the outer donuts. So we've got donutception. Yeah, that's what we're doing, guys. Donutception. So I want a hallway here, and I purposely made this outer ring the same height as the block that torch is on right there. So I want to connect everything up, but what I was thinking was a more kind of steeple shape structure here for this hallway. And I initially was going to place like the wall here, but if I wanted to continue this blackstone line here, which I plan on doing, I kind of had the idea that where this block is here is going to be stairs. So what I want to do is push that wall back a bit, probably extend this floor out 1 more block. That way it gives me that kind of scaffolding bit to put the stairs on. But it's going to go up probably. I don't think it's gonna go as high as that. Maybe 6 blocks high, and then it'll come in a couple blocks, come in a couple more blocks before it kind of gives it a more pointed roof in this hallway here. And then we just need to repeat it on all 4 sides, because symmetry is sometimes fantastic. Very unsymmetrical stuff going on in here with the walls and things. But these walls out here is kind of where we start our transition from a more natural build with a natural ceiling and things to where man-made stuff is happening now. And the same is going to hold true for this outer ring here. I've got some ideas for certain sections of it, but until I have kind of a full plan in place in my head for what we're going to do, we're just going to move on from that project. The other news is it turns out I needed some software updates, and now my frames looking at our base are fantastic, so I'm sorry for that last few clips, guys, but it's all working now. I can move freely with no kind of stuttering happening. So I'm going to get busy building this bit. Connecting everything up. I'll come back and show you guys it, and I think I want to actually decorate these hallways in this episode. It's going to help me just visualize kind of the transition period or area between the inner portion and the outer ring itself. So I will see you guys in a little while. This place absolutely now looks like a landed spaceship. I have no other way to describe it with the addition of these 4 hallways inside of here. I did the first one, and then I had to log off for a little while, so I've come back now, and Cash has finished up the other 4. And, basic design, that's probably going to end up changing as we add in some detail work, which is what we're going to work on next. I have an idea for these hallways. Cash has another idea for these hallways because we don't plan anything. We build everything on the fly. So what we've decided to do is she's going to work on one of them. I'm going to work on another. And then we're just going to compare notes and see which one we like better. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe that. So I'm gonna work on this one. No, that one. I'm going to work on that one, the opposite one from Cash. And we'll see what we come up with. I'm thinking what I want to do is mostly stone. I want this outer ring area and this hallway to be very man-made looking as opposed to, this bit underneath here that's kind of natural, that's got some man-made features in it. This is absolutely going to be very polished, very finished is probably the best way to describe it. So I want the transition between that and that to start here. So this is all going to be nice and pretty. And I was thinking more stone blocks, more gray blocks with black stone accent bits. So I'm going to work on this, and when I come back, we'll look at Cash's, we'll look at mine, and we'll decide which one we like better. So I've just given up at this point. I've flat out given up. No, Cash wins. I am throwing in the towel. It's done. It's over with. She wins. I was going with something simple. I was trying to just gray blocks, black accents. I had this idea for kind of like a reverse pillar, if that makes sense, starting narrow, working its way up. And in the time it took me to do this, Cash did this. And better. Just all around better. I've got a couple critiques on it. I'm not a big fan of the glazed terracotta, but yeah, she wins. She absolutely wins. We've already talked about it. It's done. Contest over. She's not even finished with this yet herself. But we've talked, and we like this color idea, and we're gonna color code all the hallways. So this one's blue, light blue right now. I think this is gonna become red. The opposite one's gonna be green. That's going to be purple, and we're not 100% sure on that one yet. And this is kind of the color code where we are in our base. So red, because that's where our smelter is on that side. Green is where our kelp farm and our furnace XP farm, which burns cactuses, hence the green. And our royal quarter area is going to be over there with our amazing trading hall, so that'll be purple. Yeah, I hang my head in shame, guys. Shame. Hanging head now. She just knocked this thing out really fast. I don't know how she did it so quickly to make it look so good. You can even see the color poking through on the sides there just to make life easy, but now we just got to replicate this thing. And Cash, you sucked, but you're amazing at the same time, so thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna replicate this, and I will replicate this many times because yeah, all 4 of those. Plus, we got to figure out the top bit, but good job, Cash. You're amazing. Have you prepared yourselves, guys? Are you ready? Are you ready for this huge reveal on these 4 hallways that we have built? And honestly, like, I deserve like 12% of the credit. Cash gets the rest because she did an amazing job designing these. I tweaked a few things and added a few other things, but honestly, thank you, Cash. One of the best builds ever. It's amazing. But let's just do it. Look at this thing. It is so amazingly fantastic. I'm honestly, I don't know what else to say about this thing because it looks great. It absolutely looks great. We just tied in so much stuff, and it looks so good. Uh, I wanted these things to be really high and traversable with elytra, even with the hanging lanterns up there. There's tons of room to fly through these things. And like I said earlier, we color coded things. So we've got a blue one here in the south, a lime green one in the west, and then the purple. Honestly, there's just something about Blackstone and purple concrete that looks amazing. And honestly, this might be the best shot right here is looking at our portal over there with the purple accents on either side with the purple portal there. Wow, say that 10 times fast. It just looks so good. We just kept playing with stuff, modifying things, little bits here and there. And honestly, I words, sometimes there's just words that need to be had. Cash referred to these as gateways, and I think it's one of the best ways to use that phrase because as you pass through it, you're going from this, natural bit that's going to be in here to this more man-made stuff. So you're passing. It's like a threshold, right? You're passing through a gate of some kind, and it's amazing. It's so beautiful. Cash, like honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm done. I have nothing else to say here. We're not quite done yet with this episode, though. There's a few more things I want to do, and at least get part of this outer ring here decorated. So what I think I'm going to do now is start at one of these pink concrete pillars we got here. This marks the corner of the circle, because circles have corners, guys. I swear they do. At least they do in Minecraft. And I want to work from here towards one of the gateways. Probably this one here. Honestly is the one I was thinking about doing anyway. But I envision a huge kind of pillar here with a corresponding one here and some kind of funky arch that I'm gonna have to work on the diagonal. But I think Cash and I are gonna do this together. We're gonna design one of these just on the fly, and see what we get, and then we're gonna just work towards one of the other gates. So give me a couple hours and I will be back. I'll show you this final product, and yeah, we'll wrap things up after that. So we've made a bit of progress, and I think I'm ready to wrap things up here. But let me show you something first. So what we decided to do was some corner bits here, and I'm showing you these because they're gonna disappear. We actually did something else. We wanted to try something simple, actually second, before I show you what we actually came up with. Um, it's okay, but yeah, those will be gone. Let me show you everything else we've done. So this isn't 100% done yet. We just wanted to put up some stone brick walls to see what it would look like. And I'm actually regretting not just building this whole thing in stone brick walls. It's going to be the prominent block, but we're going to factor in and add some other things in later on. We did add in two more of these kind of towers here where this archway is. It just ties it in a little bit better with the gateways. But these are the towers that we're going to go with that are kind of in the corner of the circle, because I'll say it again, circles have corners in Minecraft. You can see that this is the center line here that will lead us straight back to our the center of our base. These things, Cash and I just played with it for a couple hours, and the more I look at it, the more it grows on me. And one of the coolest features I think is that right now you're in the blue quadrant. That's why there's blue there and blue here. But on this opposite side, you have entered the red quadrant. So we're going to color code it like that all the way around. I've even toyed with the idea of somehow incorporating those colors into the wall itself. But Cash and I are kind of at a mental block at this point. We just want to grind this out. And so that's what we're going to work on for the next several hours, is just grinding things out. But I'm not going to show you any more of that because I'm done today. We've done so much, especially with those things right there. They look so great, and it's so awesome. I don't even I'm speechless again, like I was earlier, guys. This place is honestly turning out so much better than I thought. But that's it. Until next time, guys, you have a good one.